Hey everybody, welcome back to Cardborn. Hope everyone's having a safe 4th of July, enjoying the weather. But today's video, we'll be talking about some common questions, some questions I've been asked, and just a lot of questions I see posted on YouTube and just around the community, kind of asking what they're curious about. So, getting started, one of the things I see people ask about a lot is what you need to start. I'm going to be talking about what you need to start eBay because that's what I'm familiar with. Now, some of this stuff, if you're on TCG Player, if you're not going to be scanning cards, if you're going to be doing it alpha sort and set sort, you don't need some of this stuff if you're not going to do this. Is more chaos sorting. So what you really need to get started, the most expensive thing is a scanner. Now there are ways to get this for cheaper. Marketplace is a great example of that. I've had two, and I'm going to talk about two that I've had. The Epson ES 400 double I. Depending on how you buy that scanner, you can get that on sale. I think Best Buy is only like $260, $280 on sale. You can find it cheaper on Marketplace depending. And then I upgraded to the FI 8170. Now, this scanner is a lot better than the Epson, but they both get the job done 1 to 3. Both great scanners. The Epson, out of the box, you got to take a couple rollers out, and it's good to go. The FI 8170, you got to. There's a little plastic piece that likes to damage cards. You either have to tape it or remove it and get it replaced with a 3D printed piece. It's not that hard to do, and if you don't have a 3D printer, you can buy the piece. I think it's like $3 online. It's not bad, but they both have their shortcomings. They both have their things they excel at. If you're doing thousands and thousands of cards a day, I would do the FI 8170. For most people, the Epson is fine. Another thing that you want is a thermal label printer. You can buy these on Amazon. There's cheap ones that get drop shipped all the time for 40 to $60, and it saves you a lot of time. And if you're on eBay, you need to have a label for the eBay standard envelope, so that's the best way to do it. Now you can use a normal printer and then format it with the labels to be able to print it that way. That's more of a pain, and then you got to pay for ink, the thermal label. They're not expensive, and it pays for itself. With that, you're going to need labels for the thermal label printer. If you are ship how I do, you need a printer for the invoices because that's how I ship it out. You need paper. You need top loaders, and also it depends on how you ship. If you want to ship with top loaders or card savers, there's both perfectly decent ways to do it both. There's there's ups and downs, but they both get the job done. I use top loaders. You can use top loaders or card savers, totally up to you. You're going to need some kind of storage boxes. Behind me with all that writing, those are the ones I used to begin with. Those are just little short ones that hold 400 cards. Starting out, they weren't bad. But then I upgraded to the big 5-row boxes that can hold, 4,000 or 5,000 cards. Now with that, I have foam dividers to hold the cards up so they don't fall back when you're taking cards out. And then little tall dividers that I can write the batch name on so I know how to find the cards. All this stuff would be down in the description for all the different things. Now those are affiliate links, so if you buy through that link, I will get a little bit of something out of it, so that would help me, and I greatly appreciate that. And then you're going to need team bags. There's a couple different team bags. There's ones for graded cards that they're bigger. If you're using card savers, those are the ones you need. Otherwise, I use ones from Amazon that are just perfect for top loaders, but you couldn't put a card saver and it's not big enough for that. Depends which way you want to go and how you want to do things. So some other common questions I've got is how to source bulk. And for being a bulk seller, that's going to be one of the biggest things is making sure you have enough bulk. Starting out, it can be scary, not being able to source it, but I promise you, you can find it hand over fist. At the start, it might be a little rough, but you're going to eventually run into where you have so much of it, you're never going to run out of it. A couple good ways to source it. To begin with, Facebook Marketplace. Now, you might have to overpay for it when you're starting out. So I normally buy bulk $10 to $15 per thousand for Pokemon. Magic's $10 per thousand if it's rares or mythics or all foils. I'll pay a little bit more depending on what they have. And in your area, it might be higher, it might be lower. I don't think you're going to get lower than $10 per thousand, but who knows? You might have to go to 20, $25 per thousand just to get it at the beginning. You can still make a lot of money off of that rate. You can make a lot of money off of that. So you do not need to worry about that. If you have to pay a little higher at the beginning, you have to pay a little higher at the beginning. That's just how it is. There's a lot of groups you can find where people are buying and selling. Most states have local groups, most cities. You can even join like groups like Buy Sell Trade for whatever city you may be in. People might have, put a post on there, hey, buying Pokemon cards. You'd be surprised when people have, boxes of Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, just sitting in their basement that they'd be more than happy to get rid of. There are people out there that do that. Local game shops, LGSs. This is the most consistent way to do it. Most LGSs, they either have their own way of selling bulk, so they'll either sell it online or they'll pick through it and then sell the bulk to another bulk buyer, or they will sell their bulk to another game shop for that. A lot of these places, if you go in there and talk to them and you get on to like, hey, every month I'll come in and buy all your bulk for this price and I'll come to you, whatever time works for you. A lot of these shops will sell to you. Now, you might have to pay a little bit more than what you do in marketplace, but the numbers are there and you can build that relationship. A lot of shops have a lot of bulk if they do pre-release events and any type of events when they're, people are ripping hundreds of packs and they're just leaving the bulk there. They get bulk quite often. So if you can come to these places, talk to the owner, and get a routine down where you're coming in every week or every 2 weeks, every month, and buying all their bulk and coming to them, a lot of these places will sell to you. Or if you pay more than what they're selling to another game shop, they got to send an employee or the owner's got to drive over to that shop themselves. If you're matching that price or beating it, they'll be more than happy to sell to you. So some other common questions is how to go through bulk, what are you sifting for? So there's two ways to go through bulk. Or to sell it, I should say. You can either sift it and then pick the cards that you want to sell and then sell the rest to another bulk buyer for preferably more than you pay, or you can list everything. eBay is a listings game, so the more listings you have, the better. If you are a new seller and you have the bulk, I would list every card that you have that's light played or near mint. Now, if you have more and you just can't keep up, great. I wouldn't do that forever, but to get a couple thousand listings, maybe even 10,000 listings quickly, I would do that to get it going. Now, you still want to kind of be picky with what you have. So even if you're listing everything, I would still go and list holos, foils, popular Pokemon, high playable stuff first before you get into the more lower end stuff. That's also what you're going to look for when you're sifting through bulk. The longer you do this, the more you kind of know, hey, this card sounds great for me. You want to pick out the popular Pokemon, the cute cards, the playable stuff, the stuff more expensive stuff, and you'll get an eye for that over time. But rarity, foil, playability, those are the main three that you want to look for. And then when you want to look at what to sell and how to sell it, you can sell them just as singles. You can do play sets with Pokemon trainers. That's a great way. You can sell 4 of the same trainer for $2, $3, $4. Fantastic way. Depending on the software you're using, you can do bundles. I'm experimenting with that right now where I'm selling bundles of 25, 15, 100 of the same colored Magic cards, and people really do love that and they enjoy that. So selling that for a reasonable price, they'll look at, hey, I can get 50 cards for what I would sell 10 singles for. They'll get more cards, but it also helping me move some more of my bulk because I'm just stockpiling this stuff. But off topic real quick, if you guys are enjoying the videos, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps Cardborn grow and helps me make videos, and it helps me a lot. We want to keep things about buying, selling, growing a real TCG business, and this helps me grow a lot. I'd love to hear from you guys. So if you guys have any comments, questions, anything, please. I try to respond to all the comments I can in the same day. If I miss your comment, I will get to it. That's something I like communicating with you guys, so I will always get back to your comments. If it's just cool stories, whatever it may be. If you guys want to be part of the community, I have a Discord down below that is nice and organized for everybody. In the links in the description, it's where we talk Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, eBay selling, collections, pickups, and everything TCG. Whether you're a collector, player, reseller, you're welcome to join us. That would help me a lot. That's what I would really like to see, is that Discord grow so we can all talk. I'm here to answer questions, and I'm also would love to learn from you guys as well. So if you guys have the time to do that, it would mean a lot to me. But now, kind of getting back into things. So how often to list cards is another thing I've seen. You want to list as often as you can. You want to list daily. You can schedule your listings. On eBay, you want to list daily. Consistency on any of these platforms is massive. Prices. You want to have to figure out a floor price for your business and what you want to do. I don't like charging shipping. So I build that into my business where it's built into the listing. So my floor price is $1.99 or $2. That is a pretty common floor price. Now, off of that floor price, to kind of break it down, you're going to pay 13% in fees off of that $2. You're going to probably, depending on what you're paying per card, you're paying 1 penny to 2 or 3 cents. You're not paying much at all. So where you almost don't have to consider it. Shipping supplies. You have your envelopes, penny sleeve, card saver or top loader, team bag. If you're like me, you're printing off the invoice, so a piece of paper, and then you have the label for the thermal label printer. That label also, when you're paying for it on eBay, is 74 cents. So after all of that, and depending if you're running an ad or not, you're making about 50 to 60 cents an order for a one card order. Now, like I've said before, that second or third card adds a lot of value to that order, and your profit goes through the roof at that point. What you want to focus on is increasing your sales. But I would rather see waking up in the morning that overnight I got 5 orders for 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 cards than 15 one card orders. Even if the 15 one, even though I might have sold more cards with the one card orders, you're making more money off those bigger orders. I'm happy to pack both, but if I had to pick, I'd rather see those big card orders, or when someone hits you for a 50, 60 card order. Those are the best orders you can get. So that's how kind of my price, and then that's for anything 50 cents and under. 51 cents to $1, I'll go up to $2.49, and I just go up basically 49 cents above that. So 101 to $1.50, it'd be $3, so on and so forth. Depending on it's Pokemon or Magic, Pokemon you can kind of get away with going higher if you want. That's not how I do things, but you can. Then once we hit $5, I apply a flat markup. You got to make sure you're doing that, especially when you're over $20, because then you got to pay for a ground label. A ground label is $5, $5 minimum. I think actually it's like $5.30 is the minimum you can get it for. So that's gonna be like $5 to $8 to ship it, depending on where you're shipping it to. And if you're still using an envelope, or if you're using a bubble mailer, or whatever you may be using. So I do a flat markup depending on the value of the card, and if it's trending up or down. That's how I kind of price things out. How to ship: if you're on eBay, you got the eBay standard envelope for any cards that are under $20, and then if the total order is under 50, you can use the eBay standard envelope. I'll upload a video tomorrow about how I pack orders. It makes it nice and easy to do, and that is simple, clean, and it's once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. It can be a little scary at first, but I'll upload a video tomorrow on how I ship every card. TCG player, you kind of same way, you just don't have the label on the front. You can get times where the orders, it's a little scary sometimes. You'll get something back in the mail once and again. Out of I think the 700-800 orders I've done on eBay so far, I've got only a couple back, so not bad at all. Other thing now is algorithm and how they can kind of ding you. You'll get notifications on eBay about when your cards are scanned. If your cards aren't scanned right away, they will get scanned. I've had a couple myself that don't get scanned. Just give it time, it'll be okay. And just make sure you're uploading every day. Make sure you are doing what you're supposed to with, if your shipping time, your handling time is 2 days, get that out in 2 days. Prefer we get out in one. Be quicker, as quick as you can. So if you say 3 days, we can get it out in 1 day, get it out in 1 day. It will reward you if you're doing better than what you say. Just don't be late and keep up to your end of the bargain. Ads. Real simple. eBay, I'm on 4%. You can tweak them. So what I've seen some people do is they'll tweak their ads on the bulk stuff. They'll go a higher rate because their profit margins are bigger. and they'll go lower on high-end cards because they don't want to pay that much money on that stuff. Discounts and coupons, I would use I use buy 2 get 1 free. I use buy 5 get 3 free, and I use buy 10 get 10 free. Those are my coupons and my discounts. That's what I use. So that's about, I think, the most common questions I've seen people ask. And if there's any questions I missed or you'd like me to touch up on, drop a comment. I'll get to it either. And if it's something I can comment back to, I'll do that. Otherwise, the next video I'll make sure to include that in. But that's it for today, guys. But yeah, if you guys would please subscribe, join the Discord. All the stuff I talked about, there will be links in the description for affiliate links for the items and for all the other links that you guys may need. But thank you guys. Have a nice, safe 4th of July, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.